Bonjour, Nokomis, Migizinz, Adishkase, Migizinz, Anishinaabe, Maliseet, and English and French ancestry. I like to start in a good way, and that was what I've always been shared by me, by my teachers and mentors, and by Spirit, is that the first thing that we do is we identify who we are, where we're from, so that in doing that, we extend ourselves out in relationship to all the levels of creation around us, right? So it's not just being proud of who you are, but it's also, indicating that you're here and that you're part of this big world and this creation, this story, this journey that we're all on. And so today I want to talk a little bit about the creation, the connection between the grandfather sun and the grandmother moon, and where we fall in that on the earth. So today is April 22nd, so today's Earth Day. And so when we think about our relationship with the earth, I look to those that were created before us, the beings before us, the spiritual beings, those ancestors. And those ancestors are not just our physical ancestors passed on, but the relations that been here for a very long time. So we look to the four-leggeds, we look to the winged ones, we look to the swimmers, the crawlers, we look to the sky beings, we look to the star nation, we look to the sun, we look to the moon. We look to these beings, these spiritual helpers, these families that are a part of our family and our kinship relationship with them. So when I think about today, and I'm looking outside, and it's beautiful outside, it's cold, but the sun is out, and I'm thankful for that grandfather that watches over all of us, myself, and everyone that's two-legged, and all the levels of creation, and keeps an eye on us and provides the gifts of heat to light, that warmth on our skin, and many gifts that the Nokomis provides. And then I'm thankful for the moon, that grandmother, the Nokomis, as she comes forward later on in the day, and she greets the grandfather, and they do an exchange of communication and speak with each other and connect with each other. And then she continues her work in the evening when it becomes dark, and she looks over her children, and she watches over the things that happen in the evening as well as the nighttime. And she watches over our dreams. She provides many gifts for us. And so, these two spiritual beings are part of the creation story. They're part of our kinship relationship. And in between these two spiritual beings, then lies the earth, the Mother Earth. And on that earth, she's made up of many things that represent all the elements, the four sacred elements of the wind, the fire, the earth, and the water is all made up in the earth. And that earth that's in the center, she provides that. And then, the creations that are part of that earth, those four levels of creation, including ourselves as two-legged. And so we are, in essence, children that are still connected to that Mother Earth and to the gifts that she provides, nurturing to us physical, spiritual, mental, emotional wellness. And she looks after us, and we depend on her for those things. The other thing that I'm thankful for is the relationship that we have with each one of these helpers, and the connection that we have with them. So just to talk a little bit about the connections that we have and the beauty of the creation stories. Each nation has a creation story, and creation stories are found worldwide. And creation stories come through many ways. The people come maybe from the water, maybe from the earth, maybe from the sky, maybe from the mountain. There's many themes to the various creation stories, but we do understand that we all live in relationship to each other, in that kinship relationship. And one of the things that was always shared with me was that during our creation stories, that when the Creator's thoughts went out to come back and to create the earth, and that each one of the levels was created, as I said, the swimmers, the crawlers, the four-legged, the winged ones, the standing nation, the trees, the rock nation, the plant nation, there's the water, there's many, many nations here, that when the human nation came to be, that the Creator shared that with the previous relations, the previous nations, and shared that this particular nation that the Creator was thinking on was going to require the support of all the other nations that had been here before. And the Creator proceeded to talk about the thoughts and what this nation would look like, and described us in so much beauty, being able to walk upright, to have a connection physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to ourselves, to each other, to the world around us, and that we would be able to think and have choices, and at the same time having all these spiritual gifts that we're given, and the ability to communicate with the nations, as I said, around us. And so the other nations were excited about this. They were thrilled. They were, wow, like these two-leggeds that are coming, that you're going to be creating, must be very beautiful. And they were very excited about that. They were very happy to see us. And they knew that they had the responsibilities to be able to contribute and support the two-legged. And they were willing and wanting to do that because they serve the Creator. And they continue their original instructions. They continue the work. The birds every day get up and they sing, and they communicate with their families, and they provide those prayers that sometimes we as two-leggeds might forget, because we get maybe stuck up in what's going on around us, or racing around to do things, and we forget to be in that gratitude, and we forget to give thanks. We might forget to be appreciative. There's many things that those bird nations provide, those songs, and they continue to sing those prayers for us, and they sing them to the Creator, reminding us as two-legged, hey, were you thankful today? Are you glad to be here? Are you glad to wake up with your family, to see your co-workers, to see a beautiful day, to see the sun, to see the moon, to see the other humans around, the beautiful creation around you? Are you thankful for that? Are you thankful to be alive, to be here? And so they remind us. So all these nations continue to work in these ways, and they continue to share with us, and they continue their original instructions. And so it was a beautiful thing when the two-leggeds were created and they came to be on the earth, and to be able to be supported by the other nations, to be able to exist. And somehow along that we sometimes forget, and maybe some of us more than others, and maybe I think all of us at some time have forgotten. And to now that we think about Earth Day today, and we think about the beautiful life that we have, that good way of life, that Migizinz, good way of life of being, we should be forever thankful for that. And if we remember those things, and remember our relations around us, and our families, and our friends, and our communities, and we treat each other in that good way, and we have trust that the Creator doesn't provide things for us that it's too difficult for us to go through, that we choose to make that difficult, and that if we're open to learning, we're open to embracing that growth, the Creator provides growth for us. So with that, I just wanted to share the beauty and the vision of Creator, and there's much more to tell, and there's much more to discuss about that, but today I wanted to leave you with just being in a state of gratitude, and reaching out beyond yourself, even in your home. And when we return back to what would be considered normalcy at some time, I'm not sure what that might look like, but can we reach inside of ourselves and reach out to the relations around us? And again, as I said in my previous videos, building the relationships, being thankful for our food, and really being appreciative of where we are in life today. And what do we need to do to change our way of thinking, way of doing things, to make more of a good way of life? Because it is a good way of life, and we've kind of journeyed away from that. So taking that accountability to look at our own selves and see what we need to change within ourselves, and to rebuilding our relationships. And with that, I say, Migizinz.